Vigits, yo, what's up, guys? What is going on? Welcome back. Hope y'all are doing well. PSG versus Dortmund, Champions League semifinal, second leg. I'm thrilled. I am beyond thrilled. Dortmund's in the final, and it's funny. I kind of contradicted myself because I thought that going into this game, I thought PSG were gonna win. Just on paper, just based on the first leg match that they played, it just seemed like PSG were gonna win. There's no way going into that Stadium Parc des Princes, the ambience, the fans. Absolutely. Everybody was dressed in red. I mean, they showed up. They showed up. They put on a show. In terms of and not the team, not the team. The spectators, the fans. I felt that Dembele was going to show up. Something was going to happen in the first half with Vitinha. Maybe even Mbappe, even though Mbappe hasn't been doing nothing this whole time. This whole Champions League, I just noticed like he isn't the best player. That's why I've been saying that he's not the best player. He doesn't do absolutely anything. I mean, he scored against Barcelona. He scored, 2 goals in the second game, but he doesn't put in the work. He barely touched the ball. In this one, he actually had more of the ball. And created a good number of chances, or had created some chances, had a lot of opportunities to be able to score. That one from Hakimi, the pass, that was very smart and very unselfish from Hakimi. Hakimi could have shot it himself, and I think it was a header first. It was a header from Mendes first, and then ends up somehow getting to Hakimi, and Hakimi passes it to Mbappe, and he just doesn't get a full contact with the ball, and Kobel barely graces the ball. It didn't seem like it at first. I thought he hit the ground, and that's why it hit the crossbar, and then it ended up going outside for a corner. So he did have a good number of chances. Again, Mbappe not showing up, showing why he's not the best player. I think when he goes to Madrid, if he eventually goes to Madrid, it's just going to be a different story, and people are going to forget about this Mbappe. People are going to concentrate on the new Mbappe from Real Madrid, which he's going to have a lot of success, break records, and he's going to be probably even a legend. Or not. There's no logic in football and life. Anything could happen, but he did not perform the way he needs to be performing. He is at the helm. He's the marquee player. I really thought Dembele, somebody was going to score in that first half. There was no way this was going to end up a Dortmund win. And as the game was progressing, especially in that first half, the second half was a lot better for PSG. The first half wasn't that good. Very, very little from PSG. The only one that there were several, but the one that really, really stood out for PSG was Vitinha. Vitinha had a monster game. I mean, the passes, the crossbar shot, absolutely brilliant from this guy. And I didn't know nothing going into when Vitinha joined PSG. I didn't know what team he played for in Portugal, if he even played in Portugal. Shit, I don't even know. To this day, I don't know where he was playing, where he came from. I never saw him play for Portugal, but when I did see him play eventually, absolutely wonderful player. And I just didn't get why he wasn't getting playing time. I understood that he had some, slow games, but a lot of the games that I saw him play, there was potential, and you could see that he was a very important player for PSG. So to me, it's no surprise. Yesterday while I was at work, because again, I couldn't catch this game in its entirety, I was checking out some videos, and I was listening to some podcasts, and people were just amazed at how good Vitinha was, and how a lot of people were offering mea culpas and apologizing and sorry for underestimating you, bro. But to me, it was like no wonder. It made sense that that he would rise up and he'd be the player that he is now. I mean, look at him. He was just balling. He was balling through Dortmund. The only one that pretty much was doing that. Hakimi had more or less a decent game. At least I liked the performance of Hakimi, and that's about it. Mendes sometimes more or less. Barcola when he came in. Kang Lee also when he came in. Although I don't think Kang Lee. I personally like the way Kang Lee was effective in that second half when he did come in. But I don't see him starting a game. I've seen him start some games and it just doesn't convince me. Better in the second half from PSG. Enormous opportunities from Ramos. I wouldn't say he screwed up. I mean, he did what he could, and it just wasn't his night. I think in another game that would have gone in, but we don't care about another game. This is the game where you have to show. You have to put them in, and he just couldn't. He just couldn't. Really good pass from Mendes, from Vitinha. The crosses, there was some, I think it was from Mendes, or was it Vitinha, the one that should have gone in. There were like 2 crosses that he ended up hitting overhead. That was such a golden opportunity for them to get the tie. At that point, I think it was going to be it was going to be a tie. It was already a 1-0 from Dortmund. I still thought he had a good game. The one that I think was Vitinha that ended up feeding the ball, because it was mostly Vitinha feeding everybody. He ends up turning around and striking when he had a little bit more time to think, but I absolutely enjoy that. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Control the ball, you turn around, even though he had plenty of space, but it takes seconds for them to just regroup and just close you in, and you have no alternative but to shoot. And then you would have been saying, oh, he should have been shooting, right? I did notice in that play that Mbappe was kind of free, but dude, every single time give it to Mbappe. And Mbappe, he's been showing lately that, he's a kind of a one-dimensional player, and he's only as good as he has a Griezmann, a Pogba, a Tchouaméni, what do you call it, a Messi, a Neymar, back in the day. And I think when he goes to Real Madrid, he's going to be just as efficacious as he was when he was in the France squad, especially those early years of 2008 to 2020, 2021. He's just going to regain his form. We're going to forget about it. But this game, again, like, missed out on so many opportunities, and just is just the same thing. Typical Mbappe with the crossovers and the cut-ins, and what really helps him out is his speed. Even though you know what he's going to do, it's just his speed. You just can't beat that. And he doesn't even know how to use that to its full potential. And Dortmund, I mean, what can you say? They did a really, really good job. They played as if it was a semifinal. That's the feeling I didn't get from PSG. Like, they weren't playing as if it was a semifinal. They didn't go and show up like it was going to be a semifinal. They kind of waited till it was too late to actually start playing like they were in a semifinal. Dortmund did that from minute one, just constantly. Adeyemi again, just, had a really, really good game. I felt that, I don't know if it was because of injury related maybe, or he was starting to feel some tightness, and the coach thought it was a better idea to sub him for the final, assuming that they were I'm thinking he was already assuming that they were going to be in the final, but they really needed him towards the end, I would think. But they still did a phenomenal job even when he came out. Hummels had a fantastic game. I don't know what happened in that corner, because Beraldo just got pushed away like he was a little maggot, a little fly. Marquinhos, who was he marking instead of actually being the one to cover Hummels? And there was somebody behind Hummels too. It wasn't just Hummels. Somebody else was there in back of Hummels, another Borussia Dortmund player. Disaster set piece. And when it came to like the crossing, I don't know why PSG insisted on crossing the ball. Like, air balls, they were never winning those air balls with Schlotterbeck and especially Hummels being up there. Like, they were never going to win that. Dortmund was just far superior in terms of air balls. The 110% effort from this team was just so satisfying to see, and they deserve every praise, every accolade they get, and they deserve going to the final. Last game for Kylian Mbappe. I don't think it's the end. I think it's the end of PSG epic reign, if you want to even call it that. I don't know what's going to happen. The Zlatan days, Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, all that, like, they're going to reconstruct from zero. I mean, from the ground up, and should be interesting what they go forward with, because that's going to take a good number of years for them to get back on the top. Who knows? That's just like my thoughts for the time being. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.